For this lesson, you need to open the World's Fastest Cars 7 from your Sample Files folder. When you copy items from any non-Office Windows application, the selected item is copied to the Windows clipboard. You're then able to paste this item into any other Windows application. While the Windows clipboard can only contain one item, Office has its own clipboard that can contain up to 24 items. Because all Office applications share the same Office clipboard, it's possible to copy and paste up to 24 items between Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Access, Outlook, and all other Office applications. In this lesson, we'll use the Office clipboard to add content to a new page in the workbook. The new page will contain details of the world's fastest German cars. So I'll begin by using the skills we learned in Lesson 1.9 to add a new worksheet named German Cars. To do that, I click the New Sheet button and then double-click on the tab and type German Cars. I'll now move back to the World Cars worksheet by clicking the World Cars tab. Before we can use the multiple item clipboard, I need to first make it appear. In order to do that, we're going to use a dialog launcher for the first time. Dialog launchers are the little arrow buttons that appear on the bottom right-hand corner of some of the ribbon groups. Notice that on the Home tab of the ribbon, in the Clipboard group, there's a dialog launcher. I'm going to click the dialog launcher now to display the Clipboard Task Pane. Now, my clipboard's empty, but if you see any items on your own clipboard, just click the Clear All button to remove them. I need to copy several items onto my clipboard. First of all, I'd like the header row in row 3, and then I'd like the rows that contain the 3 German cars. That would be the Bugatti, the Porsche, and the Mercedes. So I'll begin by selecting row 3, right-click in the selected cells, and select Copy from the shortcut menu. And look what's happened. An item has appeared on the multiple item clipboard, and that item contains details of all of the cells in row 3. Now I'll continue by selecting row 5 for the details of the Bugatti, right-click and copy, row 13 for the Porsche, right-click and copy, and row 14 for the Mercedes, right-click and copy. Now that I've collected the items I need on the multiple item clipboard, I can paste them into the German Cars worksheet. I'll click on the German Cars worksheet tab now to move to the new empty worksheet we created a moment ago. And I think it would be nice to have a title for this worksheet. I'll use the title, The World's Fastest German Cars. And starting in cell A3, I'm going to paste the information from the clipboard. Now I can do this either in a single operation or one item at a time. I'll demonstrate both methods. First of all, one item at a time. Well, you can see that the column headers are the last item on the clipboard. So I'll point to this item now and click to paste the row into row 3. Now I'll click in A4 and the Bugatti, A5, Porsche details, and A6 for the Mercedes details. Let me now show you how I could have done that in a single operation. I'll delete the details that are currently there, click in cell A3, that will be the top left corner of the pasted cells, and then I'll click the Paste All button on the clipboard. And details of all of the cars are now pasted in one operation. As often happens when you paste information, the columns are not quite wide enough to display their content. So I'm going to resize all of the cells using the skill that you learned in Lesson 2.9. That's Home tab on the ribbon, and in the Cells group Format, and then AutoFit Column Width. And the worksheet now looks fine. Now I'm going to close the Clipboard Task Pane because, unlike dialogues, task panes stay open until you explicitly close them. So I'll click the Close button on the top right corner of the Clipboard Task Pane. And all that remains is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name, The World's Fastest Cars 8. And as usual, I'll save to the folder above my sample files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed Lesson 3.7. Use the Multiple Item Clipboard.